You're listening to Operator.
Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in to my show. My name is Epifania and I wanted to start doing this every other month. The concept behind it is that I will invite some amazing artists that I find very inspirational, and today I am starting with an incredible artist, and not only is he an incredible artist, he's also an incredible human and also one of my best friends. Hello, Kessler.
Hello. How are you doing?
Good, how are you, darling?
Yeah, good.
So excited to have you here, and of course, because we are friends, like, we talk about loads of stuff, but I was like, I don't really maybe know, like, where your inspiration comes from, like, music-wise, but also maybe just start by telling everyone who you are and what you do.
Yeah, cool. Well, first of all, thanks for having me here.
Of course.
We were planning this for a while.
Yeah, true.
As you said, we are like best mates. So we're going to try and keep the laughing to a minimum and be a bit serious.
Yes.
But a bit about me. Like, I'm originally born and raised in Belfast. And I moved to Rotterdam a couple of years ago, just before COVID. And I've been working in music for, like almost 15 years at this point. Originally started, as we all do when you're younger, going out to clubs and selling tickets there. Got involved in the club scene from quite an early age in Belfast, and then started getting into producing after being inspired by sort of incredible DJs that would come through. And then I decided to kind of pursue it more seriously and kind of caught the bug. And I've been making music under the name of Kessler for I think about 6 or 7 years now. And the idea behind that was kind of channeling the influences I had from like kind of UK music, like UK club and drum and bass and jungle and stuff like that. And then as my kind of like influences changed over the time, I've now kind of started involving more like ambient stuff as well. Also taking some bits from like jazz and hip hop, which I've always been a big fan of. Now just kind of making whatever I feel. Usually kind of quite emotionally charged or quite intense, like club focused music, heavy on the bass.
Always.
And a lot of kind of dub influences as well, which we'll talk about today. But that's in a nutshell.
And also in between us yapping, you will also play some songs that obviously have inspired you. But before we put something else on, like you said, you grew up in Belfast. Maybe just take us back to the Belfast scene, how that was growing up there, and what eventually inspired you to like start DJing and hosting your own parties.
Yeah, so I grew up in Belfast, and it's kind of it's a funny place. Like, it's a very kind of close knit community, and it's not a huge city, compared to most other like kind of capital cities around Europe. But I started going out clubbing there when I was like 15, 14 or something with a fake ID, and we used to go to clubs like Thompson's, which is still running, has been for like 30 years. We would kind of at this time, this is, I don't know, when was this? About 15 odd years ago, I was seeing the likes of cool DJs like from house and techno. So like Jeff Mills and stuff like that, and all these kind of like big names would come through to Belfast, and like really kind of like pioneers of the sound. And then there was also nights like Shine, which would kind of do these like bigger sort of like indoor events, where again you'll have the likes of Jeff Mills or Dave Clark, and just all these kind of like Kerry Chandler and stuff like that. So we were pretty spoiled for choice when it came to like kind of house and techno music in Belfast, and the scene there is, it's really like close knit scene. Like, everyone kind of knows each other, and there is competition, but it's kind of like healthy competition. And there wasn't like a lot of places where we could go out clubbing. There was like a handful. But it was nice, you know what I mean? And you'd always meet people when you're going out and about, and it was kind of easy. You could go up somewhere alone, and then you'd be, there's Jimmy, blah, blah, blah. But then as I started getting a bit older, and then kind of like going across the pond to the likes of, London or Manchester, kind of like that opened up my ears and eyes to other sounds, like, especially more like kind of like the dubstep and dub influences, and even more grime stuff. And then I was kind of like experiencing that, coming back to Belfast, and there wasn't really a lot of that. Like, there was one promoter in Belfast. They're still going, and I think they're pretty much the only like drum and bass kind of promoters, called Quilly. Big shout out to all the guys there. And they were kind of like, the ones who were, doing the honest work in Belfast, and like being the sole promoter of that type of sound, like a bit more like jungle or drum and bass, or kind of like raga, skank and stuff like that. And I remember going to an event there and hearing music from Calibre. And at the time I was like, I didn't really know about Calibre, and I was like 17 or 18 or whatever. But then I was like, okay, this guy's kind of sick. Who is he? I was like, he's just like one of the, the biggest pioneers of drum and bass music. I was like, where's he from? He's like, from the Ormo Road, which is like around the corner from this venue. And I was like, okay, shit, that's kind of cool. And that kind of opened up my ears to be like, okay, I can do this as well. You know what I mean? So I've got a song from Calibre, which I'll play later. Which is called Mr. Majestic, which is kind of like an homage to my upbringing in Belfast, but also specifically like coming across the kind of more left field music that wasn't really present in Belfast. Where I had to kind of go across the pond and go over to the likes of Manchester or London, where you got a lot of experience. Absolutely. Over there in Bristol as well, it's just you throw a stone, you'll run into like a jungle DJ or whatever.
Literally.
But over in Belfast, it was not really the case. But that's where kind of the foundations were laid.
Is this also a reason why you then eventually ended up moving away?
I think so, yeah. After a certain point, like, to be honest, aside from music, I did always want to leave. Just to kind of, go and explore, and, just go travel around for a bit, and, what I mean, experience different cultures and stuff.
Absolutely.
But when it came time to me, after finishing my studies in music and stuff, and I was kind of looking at the layout of Belfast, and I was like, I think I do want to go somewhere else to kind of pursue what I want to do, because of that sort of like limiting factor of, there kind of being like one main sound, and I wanted to kind of, throw myself into the deep end somewhere else and kind of experience something else. So, but I think that definitely played a factor, but not the whole factor.
Maybe now's a nice time for you to put that record on that you were just talking about.
Yeah, let's go. Let me find it.
So we can reminisce about Belfast.
Yeah. This is Mr. Majestic by Calibre.
man who tried to cheat her.
Absolute banger.
Yes, yes.
Such a good tune.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, so yeah, Belfast, we've had that. You then decided to move to Rotterdam.
Yeah.
And how was that?
Yeah, well, it was it was not quite how I imagined it because
No.
yeah, it was. I mean, I love it. I'm very happy here, but the initial move was a bit dramatic because of COVID kicking in basically as soon as I arrived.
Yeah.
So the start to it was a bit, yeah, not really how I expected. But after that, it was yeah, it was beautiful. It was really fun. Initially, I was going to move to Amsterdam,
Yeah.
but I was struggling to find somewhere to live there. And then in one place I had fell through, and then it was kind of by coincidence or happy accident that I came across Rotterdam because I hadn't actually been here before I moved. And then I was basically visiting from Belfast, going to Dekmantel, which I went to quite a few times. And then on like the last day of the trip, I decided to take the train down to Rotterdam and check it out. And I was like, whoa, yeah, this is nice. Yeah, I like this way more. Rented a bike and just cycled around the whole city for like 4 hours. And then I pretty much decided like, okay, yeah, this is it. So And that was about almost 7 years ago. So
Yeah.
time has flew by for sure. And I definitely feel very at home here now. Like meeting the likes of you and also becoming best mates from the start it's been a beautiful experience. And then also it's just been it's kind of the change that I was looking for from Belfast. Like I still have a piece of my heart there for sure. A lot of friends who I keep in touch with and visit every so often. But I think I'm definitely happier here, and it's more suited to me. More of a creative kind of hub, and much easier to find those sort of people. But it's been a good couple of years.
Beautiful to hear. But like you said, when you moved here, it was obviously COVID. That was also the time when I just moved here. And as an artist, it was a very difficult time to sort of, I mean, if you're a DJ, like where are you going to play when everything is closed?
Yeah, exactly.
How was that experience? And did you manage to like do a lot of music in that period as well?
It was tough.
Yeah.
Like during COVID, there wasn't really a lot happening, so gigs and stuff were off the cards for a while. Of course, there was the odd little house party and stuff.
Yeah.
So as restrictions eased up, time after time, I got to meet more people and go to more places, and then social distancing and all that stuff. But in the meantime, I was still cooking away in the studio, and I actually did end up writing quite a lot of music. And there's one I kind of set myself, because I had so much time, and I found a job where I was able to work from home. So I was basically inside the house all day. I think you remember me complaining about that job.
Yes.
Shout out Gemma as well. She knows all about it. Fucks up CWS. So I was in my house a lot, naturally, and was making music almost every day, and I set myself like a bit of a task to just like write an album, also trying to like channel some of the emotions I was going through with kind of being in this foreign land and not really having the security of knowing what the fuck I'm doing, whatever, and just kind of trying to figure it out. Also felt quite, I don't know, actually quite scared as well of like how things were going and what's going to happen and stuff. So during that time I was writing a lot more music for home listening, and I released my plan was to release an album. In the end, I decided to just shorten it down to an EP of 6 tracks. So still quite a long EP, but I decided it wasn't really the right time to release an album. When you do an album, you kind of want to, I don't know, maybe do a tour or whatever, and that wasn't happening.
True.
So I wrote this music, which was quite emotional and definitely kind of taking in my surroundings a bit. And I was really happy with that, and that actually got quite a good reception as well. And we printed it on vinyl as well, and it sold out a couple of times. We did a couple of represses and stuff, and that was released on Shall Not Fade. And then from then on, it's kind of just keeping that momentum going, really, and just trying to keep writing more and more music. And I put out the most music that I've ever put out during COVID. I think I did like about 30 or 35 tracks.
Damn.
In that sort of year and a half period, and loads of DJ mixes as well. Because then people who were seeing the release were then asking, would you do a mix for us, let's do an interview and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, sure, I mean, I've got nothing to do, I'm at home anyways. During that time it actually was somewhat of a blessing in disguise. Like nowadays, life's back to normal, and there's so many kind of distractions and impulses, taking you away from what you might want to do, and it's a lot easier to lose focus. But in that time, it was just stay at home, eat, sleep, shower, and make some music, basically. So because also next to being a DJ, you also are a producer, and you have your own record label. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? Yeah. So we started Illicit. I started with a friend of mine from London, who I met in Belfast, called Coboro. And we started the label. I'd been wanting to start a label for a long time. I remember having the notes planning in my phone since I think 2018 or so, but trying to decide on a name was the bane of my existence. So I put it off for quite a while, and then eventually came to the right time that I wanted to put out a release, and that was actually because of a EP that I'd made, and I was it was also kind of similar to this sort of vibe that I was making back in COVID, like this kind of emotionally charged dance music. And at some point I was like, yeah, I've kind of poured my heart into this. I don't want to just hand it away to another label, and then I decided to release it myself. And then that kind of kickstarted the idea to start a label, which I'd already had. So it was more so just like a bit of a catalyst to do it and like get the idea going again. But yeah, we've been going now for almost 3.5 years. And the label's called Illicit Records, and we've been doing some parties as well. Also like in London, a lot in Rotterdam, some showcases around the world and like Italy and stuff. And yeah, just trying to grow the label. And it's like the main focus for me was to really kind of champion up and coming artists, you know, and kind of put people on the pedestal, like similar opportunities that I was given basically. And yeah, just music that we fucked with really, you know, kind of more obscure left field dance music, a bit more like bass or IDM-y or whatever. But yeah, it's been going pretty well, and we're now I've got another release that's just been announced from a co-artist from Valencia, Pepe, big shout out. And after that is released, it's going to be my next release, which will be fun, and that will be I think the 13th, 14th release on the label, and then the 10th EP. So the first release was mine, and then the 10th one will kind of be sort of like a landmark, you know, reaching double digits.
And when you say that you want to grow the label, like what does that growth look like? Like what would be your dream?
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to, you know, for it to be quite recognized, of course. And I think we've been growing over the couple of years, and you know, people have been getting quite invested into it. And I think we've been working quite hard to have a sound which is, you know, quite recognizable, and you know, seeing messages on Bandcamp being like Illicit is an instant buy on site label and stuff like that. That's kind of what I wanted to achieve, was also for it to be a label that you don't know what to expect from. So the likes of labels that inspired me when I was younger, like Ninja Tune or RNS or Alien Tape, those are kind of the labels that I would see release, like, oh, what's this going to be? You know, kind of have this excitement and then not have that kind of predictability. And then yeah, just kind of do more events and stuff like that, because that's kind of the best way to connect with your community, and yeah, just keep the releases going really. And yeah, we're also like selling merch and stuff like that, and want to do like more workshops, because obviously I'm a big producer nerd as well, so I'm doing a lot of teaching in my time as well. And it'd be nice to kind of combine that and explore that angle with Illicit, and grow that side of the community, not only like just music and club, but also, you know, like a more educational route as well. Yeah,
sounds beautiful, babe.
Yeah,
maybe a good moment again to drop a tune and tell us also why you're picking this one out.
yeah, let's go. I've got one queued up. This next one is from Object, and I kind of picked this out because of the kind of like the UK techno/bass kind of influence that I had after kind of going abroad to places like Bristol and Manchester and London. The kind of sound that wasn't really that prevalent in Belfast, and then kind of going to these cities, I would hear more of this type of sound, and then that really kind of opened up my world to a new kind of style of music. So this one is The Goose That Got Away from Object.
Also another banger.
Yes.
Eddie, you talked earlier about that you recently started your label and you are an independent artist. What are like some struggles that you face?
Yeah, that's a good question actually. I mean, yeah, the kind of journey of being a musician is a bit of a slippery slope. You know, it's not a given that you have you know, a lot of shows and performances just because you have, you know, kind of a steady stream of them, and you know, there might be some things that don't live up to your expectations. You know what I mean? Like with touring and stuff like that, you know, that can also be quite difficult, especially if you're doing quite longer tours. You probably remember when I was over in like in Australia and stuff for a couple of weeks. That can be quite tough, you know what I mean? And it's not really something that you think about when you're first getting into you know, getting into this whole music game. But it is a nice part of it as well, you know, being able to go over to other countries and play music. It's a big privilege, but it also comes with some, you know, some cons as well, you know what I mean, like jet lag and sleep deprivation and, you know, missed connections, missed flights and stuff like that. You know, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. But you know, I think probably the biggest one I've had to overcome is kind of just dealing with, you know, getting inside your own head in terms of, you know, like you know, when I'm writing music, maybe you feel it's not good enough, you know what I mean, and you can kind of be your own worst critic sometimes, and it's kind of important to try and, you know, remove yourself from that kind of negative side of thinking, and maybe just come back to it, whatever, you know. But that took me a while, which I'm still kind of working on it, to be honest. Like after having like a string of releases that I was really proud of, and then putting them out quite consistently, I wasn't expecting to kind of go into this like, oh, I'm not really feeling anything that I'm making at the minute, and yeah, it's not good enough, that type of stuff. And then that can lead to, you know, you're not putting out some work for quite a while. So I think that's been the hardest one to overcome, is just, you know, getting out of your own head and maybe putting yourself in a not so comfort zone, and just trying to, you know, persevere with it, really. But yeah, that's been probably the toughest one.
Yeah, which is completely understandable, and then I hear this from a lot other artists that they also struggle with that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
And when looking at the like current nightlife scene in the city, but also like worldwide, like what are some changes that you are seeing?
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, for me, I can really kind of segment my clubbing experiences with, I think most people can, with like, you know, pre-COVID and post-COVID.
Yeah.
For me, largely because those two segments were in different countries, you know, like when I was, before COVID, I was still in Belfast and mostly going out in the UK and stuff, and then afterwards not being based here, there's been definitely a big shift in the way that people go out. You know, there are, you know, contributing factors to it, you know, like cost of living, things are getting more and more expensive, and I think generally during that period people were more at home, and that's kind of, I think, led to sort of a habit, I guess, of being content with, you know, just staying home and not going out, you know what I mean, and I think that's a bit of a shame, but obviously there are factors that contribute to it. But yeah, I've noticed, because I've been, you know, kind of promoting events and selling tickets since I was like 16, and I'm nearly 30 now, and still doing it, still doing the grind. And yeah, it's definitely not got any easier, you know what I mean, like there's no, now we're doing like events with Illicit and stuff, and you know, you're trying to sell tickets, and you know, there's no real gauge that you have of, you know, how well your event is gonna do, or how many people are gonna show up and stuff like that. And yeah, that's been something that I've, you know, been very cautious about, and been paying attention to a lot, is just the way that people are going out experiencing nightlife a lot recently. But like, it's also worldwide.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm hearing a lot of this from my friends in the UK as well, and across the pond in the States and stuff. So yeah, but something has to change, I think. But we're not quite there yet.
Absolutely. And for someone that's listening right now and is like a big fan of yours, or wants to get into music, like, is there any advice that you can give to like a beginner producer or DJ?
Yeah, I think like whenever I first started, I was just really kind of focused on making one type of sound. You know, like when I first started making music, I was like, I want to make this like dark Berlin techno stuff, and you know, and after going to Berlin or whatever for the first time, and I quickly learned that like that wasn't for me. You know, and I was trying to force it, and I think after just trying to make some other stuff, like I was trying to make some like hip hop stuff along the way, some kind of more like house music stuff as well. But then I kind of eventually settled on finding my sound, and you probably will hear that quite a lot if you are kind of getting into producing or making music, is finding your own sound. But for me, that wasn't instantaneous, you know, and I was like, I'm no good at this. And then eventually something kind of clicked, and then I found kind of my happy spot. So I would just encourage anyone to just try a lot of different things, and don't like pigeonhole yourself into this one genre because that's what you were destined to make. Whatever, it's like just experiment with anything, you know what I mean, and just make some weird music and see what works, because it might not be what you think it is. Yeah,
good advice. And also, when looking at, because we talk about this quite often, about like social media use as like an artist nowadays, that it's so important to have like your own branding and be on it constantly. Like how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, I am. I'm not the biggest fan of social media. I still don't have TikTok, for example, which maybe you
don't download it.
You might call me an old boomer. I am technically Gen Z, but it doesn't seem like. But yeah, I mean, it is just a part of it, and it has been ever since. For me, I've been kind of involved in music for quite a while. Way back to when I was promoting events on Facebook, you know, so it's always been something that's been part of it. But it's just a bit frustrating that sometimes, you know, the marketing of the making is more important than the actual making. You know, and nowadays everyone's like a bit of a one-man band, and you've got to be a fucking video director, cameraman, you know, a journalist and everything, you know, and, you know, just to make a fucking 30-second Instagram reel or something. And you know, if you're not experienced in doing that, that can take quite a long time. And I mean, time is a finite resource, so I'm just quite frustrated by it sometimes. But you know, you kind of just have to adapt, and also kind of look at it like not look at it like a chore, just kind of use it like a tool, you know, and you know, use it as a tool to, you know, make more people aware of you, you know, not for clout, whatever, but just, you know, find like-minded people, you know what I mean. If you don't share your work, then no one's gonna find it. So same goes for, you know, with like I will just like to be making music, of course, but you know, nowadays with there being so much music put out every single day. I
mean, it seems like everyone is a DJ all over.
Yeah. exactly. There's no doctors, but there's just DJs. You're like, it's an uphill battle from the start. So if you don't do it, you know, you're never really gonna get anyone to hear your stuff. So yeah, it's a necessary evil. But I would love there to be like a platform that isn't like, you know, X or Meta, whatever, you know, kind of somewhat a bit more community focused or whatever. But maybe that's still some time away. I mean, I'm sure, you know, there's like Telegram groups and stuff like that. But yeah, what we used to do back in Belfast, there was this Facebook group called like Jerry Jackson Stole Your CDs, and it's basically just you know, Emmett, one of our best mates.
Yes.
Him and Alex, big shout out, were the kind of the founders of that, and it was kind of like just you know, it started off with like 50 people, and then it grew to like, you know, like 1,000 or something. But it's just, everyone was just sharing events, sharing music in it and stuff like that, and writing a little comment about it, and kind of just creating a little community within the cesspit that is Facebook. But like, just like, you know, you post something in there, you're gonna spark up a conversation. I think stuff like that is more valuable. But yeah, nowadays with like Instagram and stuff, I think that's less common. But yeah, it's just, you gotta do it.
Yep.
You gotta do it.
Unfortunately. Eddie, what's the next song that we have?
Yeah, so the next one is a bit of a curveball, but you asked me for some kind of inspirations of mine and what's kind of led me to where I am now. And this one is by an amazing artist from Germany called Nils Fram. and he's someone that I listen to, which is not dance music at all, but it's just really beautiful, kind of like electronic mixed with sort of classical-ish style. But he's someone that I listen to on a weekly basis, and yeah, I pull him out of the pocket whenever I need a bit of a pick-me-up.
Nice.
So this is All Melody by Niels Fram. Sadly have to cut that one short because it is like a 14-minute long track. We don't have that amount of time, but yeah, that was All Melody by Niels Fram. Just to add about this, like Niels Fram is like a really big inspiration, even though I make very different music, but he's a sort of a live act who plays every instrument basically, and I went to see him in Tivoli in Utrecht, where he was showcasing his album. This is Tripping with Niels Fram. It's a live album recorded in Berlin in his studio, and seeing him was helping me kind of get out of a bit of a creative rut that I was in at the time. And yeah, it's something I cherish very much. More so in the kind of ambient kind of sphere, and also quite like cinematic. I try and put like those sounds in some of my music as well, and I think I draw a lot of it from him. So just wanted to say that as well.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Such a beautiful song. Are there any collaborations coming up?
Collaborations? Yeah, I I'm the worst at planning them. I have had many plans to do collaborations with people. Like me and DJ Spit are working on something. We had a session in the studio recently, at some point last year, but we're still yet to finish it. As I'm just constantly just so busy all the time, and I do tend to prioritize my own work first, and then I've been working on a live set as well, which is kind of taking up a lot of headspace alongside running the label and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
We have the shows, so there's our collaborations that I want to do, and if you're listening, reach out for sure. we'll try and plan something in, but I think I need like a manager in that regard to like say, Eddie, you're going in the studio today with someone. I'm like, okay, let's go, because I can kind of just get lost in my own thing.
Of course.
But yeah, I'm really open to doing collaborations, but other than the odd party collaboration, not really on the music side of things.
Yeah. And what's up next for you, as in Kessler?
I talked about the EP that is in the works. It's almost finished, and the last EP I put out was in November on Martin's label, Martijn, on 3024. And I've been working on this next EP for Illicit, and it's sort of like a bit more 160 BPM, a bit more designed for the club, a bit more kind of aggressive, but also with moments of some light as well, kind of like taking that ambient kind of influence as well, and just continuously working on my live set as well. I've been kind of debuting that again. Re-debuting that because I had a performance in Rotterdam at Dome,
which looks sick, by the way.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. One of the best experiences I've had as a live act, and that really got me like going again with like doing the live stuff again, because it does take up quite a lot of time and mental capacity to be able to pull it off, and a lot of just practice with it. So I'm not always able to be in that kind of mode, but doing that and the live show and the next EP, and then just on to the next. I've been slacking a bit, so I'm just trying to get back into a rhythm again, really, and then just trying to be consistent with it as well. Yeah.
And is there like an artist that would be your dream to work with? Going back to the collaboration part.
So there is one artist, and I'm going to play a song for him next, and that artist is Drum, Felix Emmanuel. He's one of my favorite artists in the kind of abstract kind of club, but also he's, I believe, classically trained pianist, and you can definitely hear that in a lot of his music. It's quite melodic and quite sample heavy, but he's just really cool. He's also, if you've seen him DJ live, he's all vinyl, doing like turntable magic, and he's just a bad man. So I think
Absolutely.
that one would be with Mr. Drum. So the next tune is one of my favorites from his, a bit of an older one, but one of my favorites nonetheless. It's called Showreel Part 2.
great tune.
Yes.
Unfortunately, this hour has flown by, literally. Which is always great when you have yapping friends.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think we didn't yap too much. I yapped.
Yeah, literally. You've out-yapped me today.
I know, which is very rare. If anyone knows Epi, like, she's a queen yapper.
I wanted to ask you, what is the strangest request you've ever had during a DJ set?
Oh, wow. Strangest request. Fuck.
Or just like that, you're like, what the hell?
I mean, yeah, I've had quite a few.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day in Belfast, whenever I was not really known as a DJ or whatever, you know, I would be playing in kind of like some like bar shows as well and stuff like that, and you would just get like, I don't know, the Isley Brothers or something, or like some like Kylie Minogue, whatever. Not that rare, but yeah, I would always just be like, don't do requests. Sorry, I'm not doing any requests. This is not the night. Take away.
Love that. Yeah. And to actually end the show as well, you were saying that you have some unreleased music that you want to play for us.
Yeah. I'll play the next one, which is still in the works, but almost finished, and it's coming up on the next Illicit EP. This is called Petrichor. So far, might change the name of it. Petrichor by myself.
Very groovy.
Unreleased.
I like it.
Yeah. Kind of channeling a bit of a kind of UK sound with a little bit of kind of dub influences as well. I've been very much into kind of like dub reggae and dubstep the past couple of years. So yeah, kind of combining those two.
Nice.
But yeah.
Where are you performing next? Where can people come and see you in action?
Next show so far is going to be at Export.
Yeah.
It's still yet to be announced though. So I can't say too much about it just yet. And then I'm actually going to be heading back home to play some shows in Ireland.
Oh, I didn't know
I'm going
that.
to play in Dublin at Tengu Mamamori, and then a show in Belfast at Mandela Hall, and that's going to be a live show, both of them. So over the summer I'm going to be working a lot over my live show and kind of refining it and working on it and then showing it to the public.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And where can people find you online, even though I know you don't like it?
4_ Kessler on Instagram, and you can find the links to everything else there. Yeah, do some work yourself.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Eddie, for being here with me today
Yeah,
and
no worries.
to start off my new show.
Yeah,
Thank you
thank
to
you for having
everyone.
me.
Of course. Thank you for everyone for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And hopefully I'll be back next month with another artist that I will be interviewing.
Ooh.
My name is Epifania. Thanks for listening.
Yeah. And then we've got one more to finish, right?
Yes.
All right. I'll leave you off on a little chill one.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. I'm a big jazz head as well, so this is another one of my influences.
Thank you.